Are we ready for Pilates? Pie and lattes, maybe? Very good. So make sure you've got enough space, some air coming through, and a good water glass, something you can use. Because even in Pilates, you may get a little bit of sweat. So let's start with the most upright position you can take. Think about those toes spreading, shoulders, arms down. Just a gentle head nod down and lift it back up. If you in any way stiff around the neck, or if you're a little bit headachy on the day, then just do those gently. Don't push over the limit. And then side to side, ear to the shoulder, and make sure those shoulders don't lift up. And as you do the head and neck, just think about your breath slowing down a little bit. Feel that your arms are pulling further away from the ears, and you're gaining that nice long neck. And then shoulders, head steady, easy time to look over the shoulder, easy look over. And then bring that chin into the neck, little reach forwards, into the neck, little reach forwards. And then steady circle, nose goes all the way around, down, side, up and reach. And then the other way. Come to the center. Now we're going to step your right leg back on the toe. So you start hip distance and then just right leg behind you on a toe. Pelvis is there, and we want to tilt it forwards so you result in the arch back. Center, and then drop your tailbone under. Come back center. Drop the pubic bone down, arch your back. Center, drop your tailbone, come back to the center. Forwards, center, back, center. It should go quite evenly and as loose. Then side to side. We get a longer waist on one side, shorter waist on the other. And then all the way round. Smooth out those circles round. Keeping the head and shoulders steady at the same time. Then the other way. Brilliant. Step your feet under the hips. Swap for the left leg back. So we start with a tilt forwards, even out. Tilt back, even out. If it's still not happening on its own, just use your hands to guide your pelvis, front and back. That's good. Then the side to side. So lengthen one side, shorten the other. Head is tall, shoulders are down. And then smooth it all the way around. Even if it's not big on the outside, just make sure you're grinding deep inside, which will help. Then the other way. Brilliant. Feet under the hips. Think about your big toes, little toes, heels creating your triangle of balance. A little bit of a grip on the toes, but aim for your toes to be apart. So if naturally your toes come one on top of the other, you can use your fingers to spread them apart a little bit more. Teach your toes to be apart, and that would be natural. Right shoulder, right elbow, right arm. And then you do it on the left. Left shoulder, left elbow, left arm. Easy, smooth, and keep it bigger and bigger. Shoulder, elbow, arm, shoulder, elbow, One more time each way. And then reverse, so back to front. Still shoulder, still elbow, still arm. Shoulder, elbow, arm. One more time each way. Keeping that head high up and without any kind of bouncing, moving, turning. Good. Easy march on a spot. Knees come up high, foot forwards. We're not kicking the bottoms. So the deal is that you push one foot when you lift the knee up. So push the foot down and then lift up the knee will be a breeze. We're going to slow it down. So you lift leg and the opposite arm. Step down. Lift the leg and the opposite arm. Steady up. And it's still the same rule. Foot down, knee up. Be aware of what your foot is doing. Foot down, knee up. Brilliant. Foot down, lift high. And then if you want a little bit more challenge, both arms will go up. Even more focus should go to your standing leg. Push the foot, lift the knee, reach the arms high. Push the foot, lift the knee, arms up. Keep pressing that foot. Be aware of your toes. So really it's regardless what your arms are doing or what the lifted knee is doing, the focus is down. Push it down, grip your toes. And if the balance is there, the whole body will be easy breezy to hold up. One more. Good. And then just a little lift to the side, keeping the hips head steady. Just get a feeling that the hips are working. So muscles on the side of the hip. Good, so now we're going to turn the toes up. So if you start with the heels together, toes apart, lift and lower. So recently we've done this exercise, or very similar version of this exercise, lying on your side. Lift the toes, step back, lift, leading with the toes, step back. So same applies. Push the foot down, lift the leg out. And then we're going to turn the toes inwards. And we're going to lift, leading with the heel. So toes are downwards, even when you lift the leg. So we're attacking those hips from a slightly different angle there. More glute work. You will be moving side to side because we're changing right to left, but you wouldn't like to end up too far over or like you're losing your balance. One more. And shake it off. Good. We're going to stand on the block, so have your flat block on the floor or book or whatever else you're using. We want to keep the hip very loose. So we're going to swing front and back, but feel that you are as loose as you can be. So the swinging leg is actually getting a little bit more space inside of the joint, a little bit more movement, but the standing leg is working hard. So the standing leg is the business leg. You need to grip the toes, you need to make sure that your knee doesn't lock in and you've got that challenge in the hip, on the side. All comes back to the glutes. If you're not sure what stabilizes you, use your glutes, always. Open the knees out, use your feet and smooth it out. Now we're going to change it a little bit. You're going to go forwards with the knee up, back with the straight leg. Up, back, up, back, up, back. Keep it smooth and easy. It's not a lot of effort, it's just the swing. The effort is on your standing leg. And sometimes, to me, it works better if I work my arms, because this is actually is good to be done before runs or long walks. It really gets you ready for all those locomotion kind of exercises. Brilliant. Did you feel it on the hip? If you did, spot on. So let's start on the other side. Maybe a completely different story as per usual. Grab those toes and start front and back. The standing leg knee is always bent. Make sure you never knock it in like this. Open out. I had a couple of ladies clients yesterday and they had very bad control over the joints and we had to work really hard for them to feel the knees don't come in, because sometimes you may not feel it at all and it's only when somebody points it out for you. So make sure that you, whatever you do, the weight is on the outside of the foot and then gripped with the toe, soften the knee, hands on the hips are perfectly fine. To me it feels more natural if I use my arms. Make sure it doesn't put you off balance though. Grip the toe, put that feeling into your big toe as well. Little break, and then we're going to go bent knee up and just the swing back. Bent knee, swing. Bent knee, swing. Up, back, up, back. Grip the toes, push the big toe in, up, back, up, back. It's good if you fix your gaze on something that doesn't move. Up, back, up, back, up, back. However smooth you can make it. 2, 1 more. Good, shake it off, nice one. Get hold of your block. So you've got wide legs, toes out. Place the block at the back of your skull. So we're not on the neck, we're on a hard skull. Elbows should open out nicely, shoulders down. Legs work very hard, so cheeks, inner thighs, feet, all of it. Hips, lean to the side, come back. Hips, lean over, come back. Hips, reach, come back. Hips, reach, come back. And your head always presses into the block and not the other way around. So you always have that head back, elbows, so you only just see them at the very corner of your eyes. One more. And rest, roll your shoulders, shake off the legs. Then head position stays the same. Turn your toes in. Head into the block, elbows out, hips, body leans, look forwards. Every time you look down, your body will twist. So we want to look forwards to keep the movement side to side. And you may be well aware that one side goes easy, the other one not so easy. So just focus on improving that range. Good. Block in front of you. Feet a little bit more in front as well. Now, imagine this is your pelvis. I want to point it to the side, come back, point it to the side, come back. And we're moving everything together. So we should treat our middle from ribs to pelvis as one unit. That's your cylinder. The top of the cylinder is your diaphragm. The bottom of your cylinder is your pelvic floor. All the way around, you've got abdominal muscles, you've got back muscles, and they all work together. And as you unit, you turn everything at the same time. Now let's start swinging the arms as if you want to throw them away. So the arms can work bigger, but the unit stays the same. So from ribs to the pelvis, you turn everything at the same time, and arms go smooth to the side. And it's kind of a pendulum movement, down, up, down, up, down, up. Pivot on the toe, turn your knee in. And one more. Good. Then we're going to use that hip action for squats. You're going to squat down, arms to the right, and then lift up like a wood chop motion. We're going down and then hips turn, arms explode. I want you to be slow and then quick to lift. Down slow, quick to lift. Down, quick. When you want to work fast, whee, don't lose it like I did. If you want to work fast, your brain needs to use different neural response. Is there quicker messaging going on? Is also more muscle fibers working at the same time. And when we get older, we lose the speed. We lose that messaging speed. I want to practice the speed movement. One more. So we not just want to be slow and steady. The other side, down low, upright. Slow, explode and lift. Down, turn the knee, turn the ankle. Down slow, up and explode. Down, boom, up. Down, keep your cylinder kept together. Down, up. Down, up. Down, twist. Two more. Up. And one more. Up. Good. Lovely. Did we get the whole idea of everything working together? That way your spine never rotates, twists. And often this is when we have trouble, when there's too much movement between the vertebrae joints. We want opposite arm to the leg. This is somehow always confusing people, but let's start together. Left arm, right arm behind you. You hold it with the left. You step forwards with the right, back with the left leg. And then we want to put that block on the floor using a golfer's lift. So it's all about the fulcrum point in the hips and using the glutes and the hamstrings, spine as one unit. We want to utilize all the muscles on your backside at the same time. So if you lift the leg first, then your upper body is going to counterbalance the weight of the leg. Lift the leg and you'll be turning on immediately all those muscles on the backside. So they're not going to let you look like a fallen angel and you're rounded and you're hunched. We want to be tall and upright. So on a first travel, you leave your block down, and then another time you down, you put it back away. Standing knees bent, and you lift the back leg first. Your eyes gradually go down, 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 lift, up, up, up. As your body moves down, you look down. As your body moves up, look up. And surprise, surprise, you should still be working your glutes because they work on every single stability position. And when you're one leg, that's definitely needing stability. Grip your toes, bend your standing knee. And this is your golfer's lift. And it is not only a glute exercise or hamstring exercise, also the best way, if you drop something on the floor, pick it up. That's the easiest position for the spine because we're not using the back, we're using the legs. Change. Do we feel that? Back of the leg, side of the hip, any of the above will be good. Right hand, left arm. Left leg forward, right leg back. So we're putting it down. Lift your spine up. You always keep that leg behind you, lifted first. Looking down as your spine comes down, looking forwards on the return. Grip your toes, push your big toe down, whole foot pressing down. Bend your knee. And there's absolutely no change to the shape of your spine. We still have that natural lower back curve. How are we doing? You don't have to be quick. I pretend I didn't see that, Lorna. Don't be a fallen angel. So if you focus purely on getting down, you will end up doing this. Very weak, very rounded position. Think about that back leg. Back leg, back leg, back leg. And then you'll tip yourself forward. Back leg, back leg, back leg. And then come on. The back leg comes up. And then all you do is the seesaw. You just balance out. Think about all scales, all days weighing scales. You had to put it even right and left to find your middle. How are we doing with that one? More back leg. Kick that heel as if you're doing the Superman. Bit more challenged muscles all the way around your body, not just one group. And rested. Good. Put those down. So we want to use the band or a belt that you have. A towel, no, you know, a tea towel if nothing else. So the position for the arms will be a little bit challenging. So if you can only do a few repetitions, then lose the arms and carry on with the body, as in legs and torso. We want left arm up, down, and the bottom arm holding it. Sort of not too close, because arm stretching is not our goal. It's just to keep us entertained and a variety there. Toes opened. I'm going to use that arm position there to lift the chest, squash the bottom, push your hips forward a little bit, and then stick your bottom out, and then looking at those elbows, if you can see yourselves in a screen you have, or windows or wherever, one elbow comes forwards, one behind you. Bend your knees, still working the hamstrings. Squeeze the bum, chest up, head up, clench those cheeks, and then bum to the back, front elbow forwards, not down. Lift up, squeeze the cheeks, chest up, don't overdo it. And then bum back with the bent knees. Squeeze those cheeks, chest is up. One more time. Bum back, bum back, bum back, elbow forwards. Lift up, squash tight. And relax. Roll those shoulders. Let's change. So the right arm up and back, left arm under, just to feel a mild stretch, not a lot. And this time toes come in. Bottom to the back, elbow forwards, knees stay bent a little bit, and then hips forward, squeeze the cheeks, head, chest up. Bottom to the back, elbow to the front. Lift and reach, squash your cheeks. Bum back, bum back, bum back. Don't allow yourself to round your spine in any way. Stick it out, stick it out. And we've got one more. And bring your legs together, a little shoulder roll, try not to shake it. Coming down, grab a drink. So we're working on the movement and flexibility. First of all, sit on your block. It will be under the cheeks with the legs forwards. You want to pull the cheeks to the back, so you expose the bones. We're not sitting on the cushioned part of your bottom. We're sitting on the sitting bones, so you should feel them quite significantly as you sit. So chest up, head up. With a band, we're going to go behind the feet, and we're not actually going to lean. Cross over those hands, or part of the belt or a band, and we want to keep pulling the shoulders back, heels forwards, toes up. You want your toes to be directly up to the ceiling. And then for those ladies with the very flexible backs of the knees, you don't want to push them back down, but at the same time, we're lifting the toes to the ceiling and keeping feet apart. So we're not allowing the feet to do this. Keep them just up at the center. Hold yourself up and steady. You want to contract the quads, so up at the top of your thighs, you're contracting, but you're not pushing the knees backwards down so they don't bow down. You with me? So we never hyperextend the knees. And we hold in that tension. Front of the shin bone should be working, at least a little bit. And easy breathing, that's all you do. Nothing complicated. And then point your toes. Point your toes. Pull the toes as far down as you can. And then flex your feet. Point your toes. And flex your feet. One more time. Point the toes. Flex your feet. Stay with the flexed feet. And then just come forwards very slightly. I purely want you to feel it in your legs. So bottom to the back. Head comes forward. Stomach down on your thighs. And just hold it at the point where you're comfortable with the leg stretching. Not necessarily back stretching. That's all we do. Little bit of a back opening. Tighten up those quads and watch your knees. Are they turning in or are those kneecaps straight up? So if your toes are up, if your hips are square, the kneecaps should be pointing right up. They're quite oval in shape, out, not sunken down, right? And they're not turning in. So watch those feet, watch the knees, think about the hips. Lovely. Take those away, shake it off. We're going to do a bit of a twist. If your legs are not necessarily happy to be straight with a lifted spine, then feet together, knees apart are a good position. You definitely want to maintain the spine with a natural arch on this one. Pull and push at the same time. Watch the hands. One pull, one push. And that makes it for a powerful position. One push, one pull. And we're not leaning anywhere. We're not losing the lifted head. We only just rotate the spine. One push, one pull. Come back. One push, one pull. Let's work with the fists so you can properly use all the arm muscles all the way up to the shoulder joint. Pull and push. 2 more times. Good, roll the shoulders. Bring your feet together, knees apart. Those arches, they actually use this position effortlessly, but it requires a lot of double action. So one part of the body pulls and the other one pushes. If you do it right, it creates a very stable spine, always sort of sensitive and working to stabilize in any rotational kind of movements. And it's quite powerful. If you think about those arches, they need to do quite a good pull apart and push forward. So think about it now that you're doing the archery, and on the next repetitions, you actually put a little bit more muscle work into it. Use your imagination. Imagery is very powerful. When you use your brain, your body responds. But for now, feet together, knees apart. Hands on the inside of the knees. If your knees are very high, is the opposite hands to the knees. And we want to find you at 20% pressure. So you go full out, 100%, knees to the hands, then half of that, and you're at 20. So it's barely there, the contraction, but we hold it like that. That minimal contraction is going to result in your body with a released tension from the muscles. Relax, and it's more powerful at releasing tension than stretching alone. Do it again. Find your 100%, half of that, that's your 20. Shoulders are loose, we're not overdoing it in any way. You may feel the groin, the inner thighs are doing something, all good, all as should be. Deep breathing. Relax, we should do it about 4 times, but by the 3rd one you should already feel the difference. If it's not knees coming down lower, it's at least the release of the tension. One more time. Find your 100, half of that. Breathing easy, in and out. And release. Hands behind you, knees opened. Lift the chest up. For the wrists, any position, inside or back. Pop the chest as high up as you can. Imagine there's that string on top of the chest or somebody's fist under the shoulder blades and giving you a full lift up. We want to look up, extend, but don't overreach with the chin. We want to keep that chin lower, but still extend from that mid-back. Right then, let's come back to your arches, push and pull rotation. Feet together, knees apart, or if you can maintain the arch in the back, straight legs, quad working. So we're going to start with the rotation and imagine the arches, push and pull. Actually feel that you are pushing and pulling hard. Push, pull. Come back, push, pull. Now carry on the same, and let's bring the elbow a little bit towards the floor, come back, and you're still push, pull. It's not far down, just a little bit, just something you can control. If you're starting to lose control and feel it as a back pinch or anything like that, you should stop going down and just focus on the rotation. Pull down, push forwards, come back. Feel like you are physically push and pull. One more time, each side. And roll your shoulders, easy. Feet together, knees apart for everyone. Hands behind you, and we're going to bring the hips up. You need to clench the cheeks and lift the chest. 3, 2, 1, everything comes up. Go as high as you can, lift those hips, lift the head, pop the chin up, chest up, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Really good. Relax your wrists. So then we're going to focus on some more rotation. Yay! This work, although we rotate the upper half, you'll feel it all in your groin and your hips. You might need something to keep your knees soft. And we're going to start down in a very deep lunge. So coming quite far forwards. And you'll have one knee bent, and the foot is directly underneath, the other knee is behind you, foot flat. Easy. Now, for the hips that are very tight, you will need your block. The block will be on the outside of the foot to rest your hand on. And then when we do the rotation, so we're going to go down and under, up and lifted. If that still is not enough support, then you turn the block another edge, and that takes you even higher. You want to be comfortable to do your repetitions. You shouldn't be feeling that you can't complete it. Otherwise, we're not really achieving anything. If you just struggle. So if you're super flexible and you're happy with it, your hand is on the floor. The one on the side there is on the floor. And for everyone else, hand is on the block flat or higher up. So we're taking the arm up, look up, and then thread under the knee, look to the other side. Look up, reach up, look down, and thread it under. Keep opening the hips. Then we change the hand. You go up and over, and then take the arm under the arm, right? Different position. Lift up to the ceiling. Still use your block if you need support. So higher up or lower down. We're going up high and then under the arm. Lift up, come on down under the arm. You feeling your hips already? Should be coming in slowly. Last one, up and down. Good, and then sit back on the heels briefly. Lift your head, walk your arms. How's the groin? Did you feel anything working in there? It can go quite deep into the pelvis or close to the knees. So whatever we do here, comes through the lower back fascia, and then it comes from this side rib to the opposite hip and down. So we're all interconnected and everything needs to work well. So if the hips are stuck up, we want to have that upper body rotation. If the upper body rotation doesn't happen on its own, then the hips will be a little bit stuck as well. All one unit, your body is. One unit with everything else. We're not working one singular bit and think that is going to help. Right, the other leg. Come on, as far forward as you can. The knee and the ankle is under. Have your block ready behind the foot to start with, or really high up if you're struggling. You want to complete the exercise rather than struggle to even do it. So help yourself if you need it. It's there for a reason. So we're going up and high to the ceiling, and then under the thigh, looking opposite direction. Lift, lift, lift. And then look under the thigh. Or not look, thread under the thigh. One more up and down. Good. Now we take the other hand on the floor. Same action with the block or even higher up. Do your thing to do it well. And then the arm will come up, and then you'll thread it under the shoulder. So your head turns. We're not necessarily dipping down. We rotate and lift, and then rotate the other way and turn your head the other way. We don't really collapse or bend. Push yourselves up. Lift and reach. Down and under. And one more all the way. Brilliant. Step those feet back and sit back on the heels, little rest. Lift it up. So, good news, we're going to do it again. Bad news, we're going to do it again. Depends on how we found it. If you want to work a little bit more intensely, if you were happy with the first version, then the back knee comes off the floor. But this one is much harder. It involves much more stability, much more toe pushing down. That will affect your quads. Stomach muscles will be working. So if it's not happening, the knee stays down. If you think you're going to handle it, one leg comes forwards. The hand will go on the outside. For everyone, we will use the block, at least when it's flat. And then the lifted knee, that is a stability challenge. So if it's not happening, put that knee down, right? You're not a hero by doing the hardest version if it's not happening very well. So it's the same. We're going up, we're going under the thigh, pushing the big toe back and down. We're not really leaning, we're rotating. Push the back knee to the ceiling if you have that knee up, or comfortably do the knee down. You're still working very hard. You're still not missing out. One more. Rest the knee down briefly if you were up. Change the hand, move the block to the other side. Lift the knee up, and then we lift up and tall, and then we thread under the arm. Lift and reach. Push the back knee up, like when you did your front planks earlier. And rest. How are we doing? This is a challenge and a half. So the other leg, exactly same thing. Leg comes far forwards, block on the outside, toe or knee, do it very well. Feel the full benefit rather than just struggle. Just struggling, that's not going to give you any results. Push back. We're going up and tall. We're going under the thigh. Keep pushing the back toe to the ground. Use your quads. Push the back of the knee to the ceiling a little bit. One more. And under. Then change the hand, you can rest in between, move the block, come on up. We're going up high and then under the shoulder, push the back knee up. One more, one more. Whoa, very intense, very intense. Sit back, stretch the arms forwards. Lovely, come on up. We'll be lying on the back. You're going to need your block and your band or a belt. So whichever one you're using, have it in your hands. So first, have that block, belt close to you, but you want to be fully set up. Block behind the skull, one leg up with the fingers under your lower back, the other leg up. So in here in the shin bones, you're parallel to the floor, and then take a double folded belt or a band, and it will be just over the chest. And I need you to push your bottom down, level those legs, and press your shoulder blades down. So we're not up here, we're down. And with a belt or a band, you apply a little bit of a stretch on that belt or band, so it's tense. And whenever you do the pulling apart, or if we had something in our hands to squash, that would make your stomach muscles work very hard. That's additional bracing required there. So legs stay up, make sure if you can see yourselves anywhere, any kind of reflection or just in the screen there, check your knees, they're not to your face. Then with those arms as they are, slowly behind your head and return over the chest. Pull apart, press the armpits down, not armpits, shoulder blades. Reach behind your head, return. As you reach your arms back, your focus should be on the stomach and the ribs. So as your arm goes back, your ribs stay down. So it may be that your arms can only go here. And if you went any further, you would have those ribs flaring. So you stop that smaller range, and that is all. We can breathe out at this point, but it doesn't mean that you relax your stomach in between. It still works, but breathe out for that extra effort from the ribs staying down. Open those arms. How's the legs? Are they shaky? If you need to rest, just step your feet down and carry on with the arms. We only have 2 more anyway. And relax. Lovely. Long arms, long legs, give a little shake. We're going to come back, but first do a little rotation. Knees are bent, feet are down, a little bit wider than our hips. Clasp your hands together, all fingers coming together as well. We're going to keep the head, shoulders off the floor. Without moving your hips or legs, we're going to pull the bottom arm, pulls the top arm a little bit further into rotation. We're going to come back, you can rest your head, and then you do it to the other side. When I'm turning to the side, the opposite foot presses down hard. Come back. So when I'm turning to the right, I push my left foot down harder. Come back. When I'm turning to the left, I push my right foot harder. And then at the same time, you use your bottom arm to pull the top arm a little bit further away. All within reason, obviously. So if you're particularly mobile there, you wouldn't like to go too far. Keeping your bottom down and steady. And one more. Good. Rest. Come back with your belt to band. And with a good setup, bum down, lower back not down. Shin bones parallel to the floor. Shin bones there, knees away from the floor. No, knees away from your face, that's what I meant. Shoulder blades to the floor. So we never reach, we always press. Now the arms will move, we just want them. We'll leg forwards, come back. Imagine there's a button and you want to press the button, pull back, press the button, pull back. Use the stretch on the belt or your band to give you more stability. The lower back doesn't flatten, doesn't arch. You use the pull apart to help you to stabilize. You press the button, you can go higher up or more forward, but make sure when you go forwards that you're using all the right actions in your abdominals, you're bracing, you're not arching your back. You should feel your hips quite intensely on this one. And your quads. Pull apart that band or belt. Press your shoulder blades to the floor. Aim for another 4, 3, 2, and one more. Good. Take it down. Easy shake. Feet together, knees together. Arms up. So this time we're going to take your upper body to turn one way, your legs the other. Your legs will not go very far. So you still use the same, pulling off the top arm with the bottom arm, legs together, and they only turn as far. You're not forcing anything into your body, just make it natural. Just a little bit of mobility in the mid-back. We're not even affecting the lower back as much as the mid-back. Keep using your bottom arm to pull your top arm a bit further. Your knees, ankles never come apart. You can breathe out and twist on this one. Good. Steady fall. Little pause at the end of your repetition as well will help. Shoulders away from the ears still. Perfect. Full on stretch, long arms, long legs, just settle in the center. And then we've got our final exercise. Settle yourselves with the knees up, shin bones parallel, bum down. You can jiggle it, lower back not down. Belt or band up. Little pull apart on the arms and press down on those shoulder blades. Chest up. And you should immediately feel that your stomach muscles need to work. It goes without saying. So, arms and one leg to start with. Arms back, only as far as you can keep your ribs down. Leg only as far as you're not arching your lower back. And just to keep helping the abdominals, you can breathe out on a full stretch. Breathing in, returning, but it doesn't mean that your abdominals ever work any less. They always work. They never switch off. Arms only as far as you're not flaring those ribs. And once you're comfortable, you could try 2 legs, but both legs is enormous work for the lower back. If you're starting to feel your lower back is not happy about it, go 1 leg at a time. You're not missing out by doing 1 leg at a time. Pull the arms apart, brace, don't flatten the lower back. Don't arch the lower back. Remember, single legs, you're still working very hard. It's not like you're missing out by not doing those hard options. Open the arms. We've got last 4. And rest. Lovely. Stretch away. Long arms, long legs. So now the main business, the stretches. We want to feel hamstrings. We want to affect the hamstrings, the IT band, everything on the backside and to the side and the glutes. And we want to switch off the lower back. So often, if you know those stretches from yoga or some other practices, by twisting, moving or flattening the lower back and losing your position, you actually never improve the legs. It doesn't make your legs work any better, but it will make your lower back worse, more poorly, less stabilized. So our default lower back is a natural arch. That's all it is. And maintain that. Let's start right leg up, toes to your face, heel to the ceiling. And we start behind the ball of your foot. So not on the arch, behind the ball of your foot. The other leg bend for now. And you can even bend your top leg, but push your bottom down and lower back stays neutral. Elbows loosely to the sides. We're not drastically pulling the arms down. We're going to the sides, a little bit more wider. Think about the tent. Tent, right? Goes to the sides and keeps it upright. That's you. Or a mast if you're a sailor. Sailor! Heel up, toes to your face. Now see how far you can stretch your knee, the back of your leg. If it's not happening at 90 degrees, which is actually quite good for the hamstring flexibility, then you lower the leg down. That's what you do. Keep your toes up, heel away, toes on your face. Now we're going to slowly stretch away the other leg and see if we can maintain 2 straight knees. If it's not happening, you come back with the other leg and you hold it. Now still maintaining your bum down, lower back not down, turn your toes out, heel in. And it will be a little bit more in your hamstrings. You may feel that as a bit of a nerve kind of pulling. That will be your sciatic nerve there. We come back center and then you turn your toes in, heel out. Without lifting that hip up or without flattening your lower back. That can be a little bit tricky. So we want to turn the hip, don't affect the lower back. And you still breathe easy. Now, if this is your right leg up, left hand is going to hold 2 parts of the band. Other arm comes to the side. Without lifting that cheek off the floor, so even without the arm to the side, you can push it down on the hip. You're only coming across the body as far as to keep the bum down. So if it's just happening there, you hold it there, right? You don't go further. And this one, gravity helps you. So once you carry on your breathing nice and steady, after about 30 seconds, you may feel the leg went down on its own, a little bit looser. And we're breathing. Push down on that hip. Don't allow the bump to lift. And breathe. The longer the exhalations, the calmer your body. Now we want the toes to come up. So we rotate up, which will be interesting feeling on the hip. Maybe quite intense. I'm not going to promise you it's not going to hurt. And then turn the toes in, heel out, which may not even happen for some hips when they're very tight. But even in your head, just turn the toe in, heel out, 2 cheeks down. So keep that bottom right down. Bend your top knee, pull it in your chest, bend the other leg, change. Lift it up. Let's put the plunky plonky music. Legs up, toes on your face, heel to the ceiling, bent knee. Make sure you still have reasonable gap from the floor, all about natural spine shape. Elbows to the sides, heel is up, toes are on your face. If straight leg doesn't happen here, you start lower down. That's all. You can try to stretch the bottom leg, but if that starts pulling way too hard, then you bend the knee back in. Do the one you can do very well, remember. Then we turn, heel in, toe out. Bottom down, lower back, not down. If your leg is shaking, you've got to lower the leg further forwards away from your face and do it from there. Steady breaths. The longer the exhalations, more we are in control of the body. Now we can relax a little bit more. Then your toes turn in, heel turns out. Make sure you don't lift your bottom up. I'm just going to turn around so we can get a bit more. So that bottom is down. Even though you turn the foot, the cheek is down. You're not shortening the waist. You're not involving your lower back to rotate your hip, remember. Come back center. So if this is your left leg, right hand holds, or whichever the opposite is. And then keeping this hip down, we move the leg across the body only as far as you can keep your bottom down. Push the heel away. Aim to open the back of the leg. You may feel the stretch from the outside of the ankle, outside of the knee, outside of the hip. Where we're not meant to feel it is the lower back, or we're definitely not upsetting SI joints. So anywhere there sometimes kicks in when we don't have flexibility. So you then overwork the joint. And the joint should be quite stable. The SI joint only moves a lot for pregnant ladies, and that is the only time when it should be moving. That is all. Other than that, it should be a little bit stiff. Then toes up, heel in, even if it's just in your imagination. It may not show itself like toes up, heel down, but this is what you're trying to achieve. It will pull quite a lot. Bum down. Easy exhalations as always. And then do the opposite, toe in, heel up, without lifting your bottom. So press that hip down, long waist on the right, long waist on the left. And even if it doesn't look like your toes are down, this is just the motion in the hip you're trying to achieve. And then bend your top knee, bring it into chest, stretch away, long arms, long legs, give your body a little shake, 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 jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Are we ready for relaxation? Very good. On your front or on your back, take the position that you're not thinking about how you lie down. You just lie down and relax, that's all. If you choose to lie down on your front, you can do a first minute or two, one fist, the other fist, legs wide. That is always really good position to realign your spine. So in the next couple of weeks, if you find yourself sitting a little bit more, if the weather's bad for walks and stuff and you can't join classes, this will be enough to release your spine from any kind of tension. Sometimes you may have shoulder pain from the rolling the shoulders forwards, hunching, or if you're cooking a lot and leaning over tables and stuff, then that will be a good remedy. And you only need 1 minute, between 1 and 3 minutes tops. If you're lying on your back, just think about not flattening your lower back, opening yourselves out with the palms up, toes turning out. And let's bring some happy memories. So whatever your happy place is, wherever you've been traveling to, or whatever you associate with the really positive, happy feelings, anything that you can, anywhere you can go back to and feel really good. It can be your grandmother's house, your garden, on the beach, on a holiday location. Just choose your spot. And then use your brain to submerge yourself in that memory. So you want to see the sights associated with your place. You want to hear the sounds. So it can be cafe sounds, it can be birds, waves, wind, you name it, songs, whatever is there in your memory. You want to smell it and taste it. So think about the dishes or the drinks, the smell in the air, the perfume you wore. And then think about your happy moments in this special place as well. So you should feel like you're almost there. As you're breathing calmly, think about your favourite place. Your breathing slows down. Your exhalations elongate as well. You feel a little bit more splashed out on the floor and not holding to any tension, especially in those hard working joints today, the hips, the shoulders. And then stretch your arms away from the legs and do an extra reach of the arms and reach of the legs away from the center, gaining that bit of height. And then slowly roll yourselves over to one side, knees can be bent. And take a moment to lift up, nice and steady. How are we doing? Very good class, lovely. Good effort with the bands. Very good, see you next time.